Well, Daniel, welcome to NACN Cool Studios.
Oh, it's fabulous. Great to be back, T.
Yeah, it was how long ago?
I think it's 11 months.
Right.
And so much has changed here since I was here last. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work put in, so there has. But you've been on the go early this morning.
Up very, very early. To be honest, I've been on the go for the last couple of weeks. I've been touring around parts of the UK, performing Silent Night, Oh Holy Night live. Because obviously in the 90s, I was in a band with another guy and we sang, Instant Replay, Let's Go Round Again. And the kind of people think they perceive that that's all trickery in the studio and you can't really sing. So when Silent Night, Oh Holy Night came out, I thought, right, it's a bit of a belter. You've got plenty of notes in there. And it's a chance to get out live for me. Because I haven't sung live in decades. But it's not only that, it's a chance to show people that it wasn't studio trickery and that, if you can sing Silent Night, Oh Holy Night live with just a keyboard and a guitar, then, you can do the stuff. Yeah. And I'm kind of tiptoeing back in, hoping that this will lead to more stuff next year.
Yeah, well, it's a powerful song, I suppose, and it gets to show your voice. And tonight there you were with our young ones, and I know they had a fabulous time.
They were great, their energy and their enthusiasm. And also they listened to everything I said and they did it all. I loved it.
So tell us this, what advice would you give young people, if you go back to when you started, what got you into music and what was your drive?
I think I did the nativity at school and I played Joseph. And as we all know, he doesn't really have anything to do in the nativity. It's everybody else. And I spent 35 minutes standing with a staff and a hoodie on. And the teachers in the rehearsal came over and said, and I thought they were going to come and tell me off. And they came over and said, you look really bored. You haven't got anything to do. We're going to give you a song. Now, I bear in mind, I'd not sung at school before. And they said, we're going to give you Oh Holy Night. Thankfully, my dad loved it and I'd heard it in the house. So I sang Oh Holy Night on the night. And I remember my mum in the school hall. It was doubled as the gym. There were ropes, doubled as the dining room. You could still smell the school lunch. But the school hall was packed, cold winter night. My dad came in the back. My dad stood at the back. My mum was on the third row. And I stood there. And I sang Oh Holy Night. And when I hit the high note, they clapped. And I thought, oh, I like this. Because I'd never done it before. I never sang at home, never did anything like that. And that kind of set me on the way. And it left a little seed inside of me. And when I got to senior school, we had this really horrible rugby teacher that wouldn't let me join the singing club or the drama club because I wouldn't play rugby. I liked football, didn't want to play rugby. And he just said, if you don't play rugby, you're not going to get to sing. So the whole 5 years at school, I didn't get to do any singing, apart from on the side, me and a couple of mates, we put a little band together. And I mean, we were like kids and we called it Hot Ice. We thought we were the coolest things going. We used to practice in a friend's garage. So it's always been in there. And I think the thing with me, and I know this might sound strange, because people tried to stop me doing it at school, it made me more determined. And I often think if they'd said, yes, sing as much as you like, I wonder if I'd got to 16 and think, I've had enough of this now. I think sometimes in life when people say no, or you can't, or you're not capable, at the end of when I was in Yale, a kind of mirror thing happened because at the end of Yale, it didn't end very nicely for me. We toured the world. We'd had loads of success. And I was sat at home and opened the newspaper and the group were finished and nobody had told me.
Right, okay.
Literally, you've spent 4 years of your life touring the world, writing an album and having hit records around the world. And you open a paper one morning and you're told your group is finished. And I didn't have any phone. The record company, nobody answered the phone. I spent 48 hours climbing the walls. And then when I eventually got hold of them, they said, you're finished. And I actually had a nervous breakdown and it took me several years to get over it. But the resolution it put in me, years later, when I pulled myself together, I remembered about that kid at school who'd been told no. And I just thought to myself, I'm not going to be told no anymore. And I'm not going to have anybody tell me I can't do something. And, they said, I won't repeat what they said, but it wasn't very nice. And it was on the lines of you're ugly, old and untalented and you'll never work again. And I think when people do that, it can either go one of two ways. You can either fall on the floor or you can pick yourself up. And I picked myself up eventually. And so I would say to any youngsters who want to do music or acting or drama or anything, because this goes across the board for anything. If you feel it inside, if you feel passionate about it, if you wake up on a morning and you think about it, or you're walking home from school or college or wherever and you're thinking about it, don't let anybody put you off. Don't let anybody put you off, because quite often when people are doing things like that, it's because they have their own motives and it's nothing to do with you. I wish I'd had somebody advise me at the time. But when the group broke up, our manager disappeared and I had nobody around. My family are just working class people from the northeast of England. So there was nobody I could talk to and say what pour my heart out to. I didn't know Elton John. Elton John seems to help everybody that falls apart in the music business. I didn't know him. So my advice to anybody in the industry is keep going. If you've got that fire of flame inside of you, then don't give up, no matter what anybody says. Because success in the industry, it's such a fine line between success and failure. And there are so many people I've met who are incredibly good singers, songwriters, actors, presenters, who have given it up because they just missed something by a whisker, so, you know, and they thought, oh, well, it's not meant to be, I'm not meant to be. And I've met a lot of other people who are not very talented, who were the other side of the whisker and had a little bit of luck or knew the right person in the right place. And they're flying high on very little talent compared to the people who've given it up because they didn't have luck. So I think success is talent, but it's also luck, contact, and who you know, being in the right place at the time. And also preparation and hard work. When I knew I was going to go out on the road and perform this song around the country, I spent 6 weeks rehearsing. Several nights a week, rehearsing. Because when you polish up what you're doing and you go out on stage, I said to myself, thank God I did that rehearsals. Because at the beginning I thought, oh, I can easily do that. But actually the bottom line is, practice does make perfect. And not so much perfect, because there's no such thing really. I think everyone's version of perfect is different, you know. But I think if you want to do something, preparation and practice. And don't be put off by anybody. Somebody once said to me when they saw me in Yale many, many years ago, they said, you stood out because you had fire in your belly. And I had it knocked out of me, but I've come back and I've got the fire in my belly again. So don't give up. Keep going.
You know, I think that's good words, and I think very inspiring. Very, very inspiring.
Well, I've kind of I've glossed over. I haven't gone into great detail about what happened at the end of the group, but I did have a nervous breakdown, and I did stay away from the business for years. I think had it been now, people wouldn't have got away with doing what they did.
Yeah.
You know, people are more aware of mental health and emotional welfare nowadays. But, you know, I was kind of like on the floor and they just rubbed their foot in, you know, like when you put a cigarette out with your toe. And
what age were you then?
In my 20s.
Very young.
Yeah.
To be going through that, setting up for success and doing well, and then all of a sudden pulled from under you.
Yeah. With nothing. And then eventually you just told, like, not even told constructive things, just, you know, like horrible things. But what we've got to realise is that in the world in general, this can happen in any walk of life. You can go into a job in a post office, a shop, any kind of business, and somebody can bully you or try and mentally pull you down. It can happen at school.
Anywhere.
Yeah. So if you feel ever that anybody is doing that to you, look for help somewhere. You know, phone the Samaritans or tell somebody around you. If you share it, they might not be able to solve it for you, but you feel ever so better if you tell somebody. Because in your mind, sometimes you think you're going mad. You think you're the only person going through this. And you can sort of be like a dog chasing his tail. You can't find a way out. So if anybody is, you know, you feel as if you're being bullied or emotionally pushed around or someone's trying to put you down, or stop you doing something, speak to somebody, share it.
Don't hold it back and hold it in,
because it could destroy you. Yeah, and you're not, and you deserve better than that.
So we're leap forward to now, and you say you've still got the fire in your belly again, and you're feeling this is what you love to do. This is your passion. and now you've been out. We've been following. We've seen you in Newcastle upon Tyne. We've seen you all over. Yeah.
I've been to Twickenham. I've been to Northumberland. I've been to Newcastle. I'm going to Kent next week. I'm here with you in Belfast, singing with your lovely, lovely kids. I've got some new music, possibly an up-tempo song that might come out in the spring. And as I said to you, part of my rebuilding myself is doing these performances, because I'm tiptoeing out, thinking, can I do this? Can I go for it next year? And I'm in the process of myself of seeing if I believe in myself enough to do it next year with an up-tempo song, you know? So even someone who's been in the businesses, this is something I should say to people that are coming in who are new. Even someone like me who's been around the block for a long time, self-doubt is in there. But if you can just say to yourself, if I work hard, my theory is get up in the morning, put one foot in front of the other and have a go. Work hard and have a go, and it will pay off.
Well, I watched you there tonight with the young people, and I have to say you're one of the nicest guys that's ever come in to work with the kids there, and I genuinely mean that. Just the way you engage with them, and they listen to you, and your voice is amazing.
Well, it's a bit rusty at the moment. Do you know what I wish? I wish I'd had that when I was young. And I'm not playing a violin or anything. Where I come from isn't different to where this is.
Yeah.
It's very, very similar. And there was nowhere to go to sing. And so when I was with the kids tonight, you look in their eyes and they're just enjoying every moment. Not me, they're just enjoying singing. They're enjoying interacting together and all the things that you've brought and given them, the confidence that being in here has given them. And it kind of shines back on me like a mirror. And I look at them, and on one half of me looks and thinks, wow, I wish I was their age again, because I do so many things differently. And I wish I had I wish I'd had someone like you, a D, in my community, in my life. You know, I wish I'd had that. So they're streets ahead of where I was at their age, and you're giving them confidence in all walks of their lives. And it's an absolute pleasure, because what I give to them bounces back on me.
Yeah. You're definitely a great mentor. So that's something that you could always have in the back burner there as a mentor.
Yeah, I don't want to do that for the while though. I want to make some more records, and I want to tour. You know, I've got the bit between my teeth now.
Well, when we have our studio finished, I said when you're over the next time, we'll hopefully make a track.
These facilities you have here are fantastic. It's 11 months since I was here. You've got so much more than you had then. You've worked so hard, and you're just creating opportunities for people. And I can't wait to come back and play around in the studio and work with your producer and see what we can come up with. You never know.
Yeah, but great. But great, exciting.
And then get out on the street with a camera and make a video, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
And we'll get the young people in to do the video edit and put it all together, utilise their skills.
They will know more than I know, probably.
So tell me this, how do we vote for your song for Christmas then?
Well, I'm number 27 at the moment on the Heritage chart. If people go to their phones, their laptops, their tablets, all their devices, because you can vote on every device, and just type in the Heritage chart. Some people put in www.theheritagechart.co.uk, but for me, I just type in the Heritage chart in the search engine, and then it'll come up. Click on it, and then scroll down, and you'll see an orange little bar with Vote Now. Click on Vote Now and just scroll down. Now, I'm 27 at the moment. Hopefully next week I'll be even higher. So you might have to look for me. Daniel James, Silent Night, Oh Holy Night. Give it a tick, and then scroll right down to the bottom and press Submit. And as I say, vote every week till Christmas, because I'm 27. It would be great to get in that top 3 for Christmas, you know?
Oh, pardon me.
And people can download the song. It's on all the download sites, because you might want to play it at home at Christmas or in your car as a mixtape or something. You know?
We were watching the video on YouTube, I think it was.
That was filmed in Arundel near the castle, and it snowed. I mean, you know, it was freezing cold. But, you know, listen, I'm not down a mine. I'm not digging coal. I'm not on a, you know, my uncles were shipbuilders in the northeast, in Sunderland on the River Wear. And they would go to work at the crack of dawn every morning, working with cold steel and rivets. Right? I'm not going to moan about what I do, standing in a booth singing or in the snow. You know, my mum and dad were in the Navy in the war, in the Second World War, you know. So I come from a family of grafters, of workers. So to me, I'm very lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I visualize my mum, and she used to grip her arm. When she knew what had happened to me in the industry, she was so angry, but she couldn't do anything about it. We didn't know anyone, you know. But as a mum, she was clench her fists and get really angry. And then when she saw me sing, you know, she'd get this little tear in her eye because she knew I'd been like kicked
Mm-hmm.
where it hurt. So she's not with us anymore now, but I feel her presence all the time, and I know that she'd be really proud. And my ancestry on my mum's side is all Irish. You know, County Monaghan, Callaghan's, and Monaghan's. So there's Irish in me, and I know my mum is here now, and she'll be over the moon that I'm in Ireland.
Very proud of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, I've got lump in my throat thinking it. You know, one of my mum's aunties was a nun. You know,
Right. Okay.
not one of the horrible ones. She was actually quite a nice one. But you know, you can't help it in Ireland. Be steeped in that, can you? You know. So I love it every time I come here.
So before we finish up, I'm going to ask you one question that we ask our parents and young people in interviews. If you had a superpower, what would it be, and why?
Wow, that's a tough question. And if I had a superpower, God, I think I'd just make sure that there were places like you have in every area of every town, not just in every town, but in every area of the town, because I just think that there are so many kids that get lost, so many kids that can't find a way forward. And whether it's football, boxing, you know, my cousin is a boxing trainer in Sunderland. You know, whatever it is, whatever walk of life, I think kids need a direction and confidence. And the reason they go astray is they're a little bit like flowers. Unless you water them, they're gonna wilt.
They'll not grow.
So I would make sure that every community had what a cool studios. I wouldn't be able to get around to all of them, would I? Can you imagine?
Well, listen, Daniel, it's been lovely having you here, and wish you all the best. And we will be voting as much as we can to get you up there.
Oh,
We'll be getting the link up on this wee interview we're doing, and hopefully people will click on it and vote for you as well. So good luck.
thank you. It's been great being back here. Thank you for having us, and have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Thank you.
Okay, there we go. That was great.
Yeah.
Good to speak to you.
Good to speak to you too. That was a very in-depth
that was a very
conversation. Yeah, I
good.
enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Thank you.